So Bronny James has played his first summer league game, and like, I'm obviously jumping the gun a little bit with this video. I'm currently recording this, and there's 2 minutes 46 seconds to go, and Bronny is in fact on the floor. He might change his stat line for this, and I'm going to be talking about Bronny James' first game, and to be honest, it was a little bit of a struggle. But there is some positive signs just watching him play. First thing is that I've seen Dalton Connect listed at 6'7". If Dalton Connect's 6'7", Bronny's 6'5". Like, they did not look any different height-wise on the floor. Maybe it's just because Bronny is, like, broad. But physically, he's got an NBA body as far as guard is concerned. He looks physically as big as any of them. So that is a positive. And he didn't look out of place. He was bad. He didn't look out of place. There's a big difference between both of them. But before we get on to, if you guys are new to the channel, subscribe. We are trying to hit 17.7k by the end of the day. So Bronny did struggle. Like, let's be real. He got he hit a nice mid-range shot. Went 2 of 8 from the field. He got his ankles broken on this play. Was this the play he got his ankles broken? Like, that's not even on him. I think he just stood on his foot. So he has ankles broken on that play, and then his first bucket is... Can I see his first bucket here? His first bucket was off a nice cut. His first bucket was off a nice cut right there. So, look, he didn't do much, but at the same time, he is the most, over-scrutinized 6th or 55th pick ever. But in reality, should he have been the 55th pick? Probably not. Probably not. If his name was... I've said it plenty of times. If his name wasn't LeBron James Jr., he wouldn't be anywhere near the NBA. But it doesn't really matter because he didn't look that bad today. He didn't look that bad. He looked no worse than Dalton Connect. Dalton Connect, Mr. Steal of the Draft. He looked no worse than Mr. Steal of the Draft, Dalton Connect. And you might be saying, oh, but it's just a bad game for Dalton Connect. It could have just been a bad game for Bronny James. So, I'm cautiously optimistic about him. Look, I don't think he's going to be a good NBA player. I don't think he's going to be a good NBA player at all. And I don't think he lasts more than 1 year longer than LeBron James. If LeBron lasts 2 more years, I think maybe a team might give him a year. And with LeBron not being there, maybe give him a year to sell or to just sell James Jr. jerseys. Heck, you can give him LeBron's number. Give him 23 or something for a team. But I don't think he's that terrible. And I'm looking at this game, and I'm thinking, is what he does going to translate to the NBA? Maybe. He hasn't looked horrific on defense. He's looked fine. He's not looked out of place at all. Again, he's not looked out of place against a lot of players that aren't going to be NBA players. It's not like he's going to... It's probably unlikely that he really completely steps up his game and shows something major that we haven't seen as of right now. So I think in general, we're probably looking at a guy that's going to just be there. And the fact is that there's a lot to be said for that. If you can put Bronny James on the floor and the team loses nothing, you know what? That's a positive. That is a positive. If you're able to put him on the floor at the NBA level and he's not going to screw up, he might occasionally hit a shot and he's not going to be a negative on defense, you can do something with that. You can do something with that. For a young player, you can give him your 7 minutes a game. You can give him 7 minutes a game as a rookie and he's not going to lose any. You're not going to lose much. And that's the one thing that is Bronny James has I don't think he has much of a ceiling. I think his ceiling is EuroLeague. If you're talking about if his name is LeBron James Jr. or if his name is not LeBron James Jr., I think his ceiling is EuroLeague. His floor is definitely above the Irish Superleague, but his floor is what London Lions was last year. You know what? Maybe it could be even lower. No, London Lions were good and did really well in Euro Cup, but his floor is probably the Serie B or the second tier in France. That would be the floor of if his name was not LeBron James Jr. and his ceiling would be EuroLeague. But at the end of the day, if you can survive on the floor, he's going to be fine. Like, he's going to have a rookie year where he's not going to play too many minutes. I actually think he's going to give you the exact same production in the NBA as he gives you in Summer League. And just as I go and criticize Dalton Connect, he goes and scores 4 quick points. But I think, genuinely, when it comes to Bronny James, that I think he's going to give you the exact same thing in Summer League as he gives you in the NBA. Because today, I didn't think he looked any worse today than he did in college against better competition. I think against better competition today than he played against in college, he looked equally as good. I thought he looked equally as fine in the the combine. I think he's gonna look fine on the NBA court. Like, it's just whether or not the level is too high for him, because he's smart enough that he isn't gonna get lost really on the floor. He's not gonna do anything. He's not gonna do anything really wrong. He just missed shots today. He didn't do anything wrong. Like, there's a lot of rookies that you're watching and you're like, okay, maybe they don't have it in them. Maybe they're not that guy. Or like, maybe it's going to take a while. They're not ready mentally to play in the NBA. And I think Bronny James is. He's never been the best player on his team. He was just kind of a guy at Sierra Canyon. And then also, like, he made a McDonald's All-American game that he probably shouldn't have. Did fine and played fine in that game. And then in college went to USC. Obviously came off cardiac arrest and stuff, but I thought him being a top 10 pick was vastly overrating him last year. I thought this is in and around what you were going to get, cardiac arrest or not, but it's still impressive that he did come back from it. I don't see him playing much next year. I think you're going to see him getting a couple of DNPs, a couple of like 10 minutes a game. If he scores more than 8 points in a game, I would be shocked, but I think he'll get every opportunity. He's going to get every opportunity to succeed. And one thing is that I can guarantee you he will not be the worst player in the NBA next year. Because of his style of play, there are guys that I've seen be on the NBA court and for potential, and they just look terrible at basketball, and they are just bad at basketball. Not bad at basketball, bad at pro basketball. Whereas I think Bronny James, his game's going to be fine. His game's going to translate. It's just, I don't necessarily think he is good enough at the NBA level to be a good NBA player. But then again, you just never know. You just never know. And you can't really judge anything by his Summer League. But the only thing that I'm will be optimistic about his Summer League is that he didn't look out of place. That he is going up. He's playing against better and better players and continuously not looking out of place. That is probably, if you are someone that wants to hype up Bronny James and hope he's a good NBA player, that's probably the only really positive sign, is that the guy doesn't look out of place, and with every level he stepped up, he's done pretty much the same thing, played the same role, and the fact that at the NBA, that's probably what his role is going to be. But anyway, that is the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.